clean water is so essential to our daily lives. Clean water is a must in all walks of lives. A person at least needs about 20 to 50 liters, of clean water per day. That's an individual. And in order to sustain this, we need to have a more meaningful, sustainable means of having always this water for today and for the future generation to come. United Nations, they've identified water as a basic need for human survival. And we are here challenged to have universal access to water by each and every Zambian.
Why is clean water important?
Clean water is important to me because I need to drink clean water.
To me, my life depends on water. I wake up, what I think about is water. I need to brush my teeth. I need to drink some water. I need to eat. So my life revolves around water, and I cannot do it without water.
As a person, water is important just as it is important to everyone else. But also as an institution, we feel water is very important. As the adage goes, water is life. So basically water is at the center of everything that we do. As human beings, we need water. Animals need water. Plants need water. Industries need water. So water is actually at the center of both social and also economic development. That is why water for us is very important.
Clean water simply means health. Clean water simply means reducing the cost that we are spending on medication, because clean water reduces morbidity by almost 40%, and clean water reduces mortality globally by 21%. So simply, to me, clean water is a backbone of development, is a backbone of well-being, is a backbone of a healthy life for a vibrant community.
To me, water is life. Water is about food, it's about crops, it's about hygiene, and it's about health, without which there would be no life. So it's critical, especially in terms of women. When you look at women and if there is no access to water, they spend too many hours going to fetch for water, which denies them the time to look after their children, to engage into productive activities. And also, if you look at schools, and especially even in Zambia, where a third, of all, the population doesn't have water, and a quarter of all the schools actually do not have access to clean water, then you realize that girls are disproportionately affected, because that means that after school, they go fetch water. But also in terms of hygiene, then when they are, say, in their menstrual periods, they cannot have clean water, and therefore they start missing school because there is no clean water. So water is life, and it's critical for sustainable development.
Are we going to have clean water when we grow up?
So the way that you generate water as a society, whether you are getting water from underground or from rivers through the public reticulation systems and so on, has huge implications in terms of the future. At the rate our population is growing, are we able to generate water in a manner that does not jeopardize the quality of the water that's available for future generations, and also the quantity of the water that's available for future generations?
So what are we doing about it?
As MOASCO, we need to regulate to ensure tomorrow you and me should still have water and sanitation service provision.
Water is not something that we can just take for granted that's going to be there for today, for tomorrow. In order to ensure that we have water for tomorrow, we have water for today's use, we need to put in place mechanisms of sustaining this commodity, this water, for today, for tomorrow, so that people will still improve on the water so that they will have clean water and have it for all their needs. So that's why we need to treat water as a sustainable development, which is going to cater for our needs for the future. This is enhanced through the plans and programs we put in place to ensure that we attain this commodity. We are, as a government, putting on a lot of things in place to ensure that we have water as a sustainable, commodity for the future.
What is sustainable development?
Means that we have to treat the resources of our planet Earth as wise and efficient as possible. That means we should prevent the over-abstraction of water resources to allow our environment to survive in the way we know it, and also to keep it in the way it is for our children and our grandchildren.
We need enough water for us to consume without doing that at the cost of the coming generation. We need to drink, we need to have water for ourselves, to bathe ourselves, to have a healthy life, and at the same time not to do that at the expense of the coming generations. It's very important today that today in the world, 750 million people are not having access to clean drinking water. So this is why also morally we need to economize on water, and that means we need to ensure the sustainability of water supply for ourselves and for the generations to come. UNICEF is working very closely with the government, particularly with the Ministry of Local Government, with the local government institutions, districts and provinces, and I would like really to appreciate this partnership at this moment. UNICEF is working closely with them to implement projects that increase the water supply through digging boreholes, digging hand pumps, wells, and using manual drilling as well as mechanical drilling. But UNICEF is very much into encouraging and very much into the manual drilling, because it is 10 times cheaper than the mechanical drilling, and that means it's more cost effective, and I would also say it is more sustainable.
Our main mandate is addressing maternal health, and in all facilities where women are delivering and giving birth, we must make sure that water is available, because without water then you get sepsis and infections which affect both the child and the mother. So in all our works, when we are providing services to the supporting government in terms of addressing maternal health, we ensure that maternity wards and delivery rooms have clean water and have facilities for water.
We are extending, even supplying water, ensuring this, the chiefdoms, the chief's palaces, they've got water, schools, clinics, and other special institutions in the rural areas that they've got clean, safe water. It is our responsibility as a government to champion this, and we've got targets we're pushing as performance key indicators which we are looking at to ensure that we achieve what we've set, linking also to the Millennium Development Goals.
We need to ensure that almost everybody has got access to safe and sustainable water supply services. That is the future that we actually want. We want to reduce the number of people that do not have access to water supply. We want to reduce the time that people spend, on accessing water. Instead of walking long distances, we want to have people getting water at their doorstep. Then they can use that time, they can use those other resources to do other economic activities, and thereby also reduce the poverty in the country.
The government has put up the Vision 2030, where we are saying by then we should have universal access to water, and at least 90% coverage in terms of sanitation. And I think it's an achievable target. Between now and then, we just need to lift the profile in terms of investment in the sector, and also just a priority for water supply. As we have already mentioned, water is life. And if that be true, I think we need to do a bit more as far as water is concerned to ensure we meet, the Vision 2030.
To me, Zambia by 2030, and that is the vision of Zambia as well, and we are joining with in this Vision 2030, Zambia is going to have all the population have access to clean drinking water. The population, that means, will be much more healthier, less sick, and living much longer. And at the same time, we are hoping by 2040, all the population, 2030, all the population will have access also to sanitation. And sanitation and water supply, they really go together.
As a government, it is a very well-known fact that we need to see a Zambia with adequate clean water for each and every human being in Zambia to have clean water for drinking, and also clean water and other types of waters needed for their production.
Everyone, everywhere in Zambia has access to safe water, adequate sanitation, and hygiene by 2030.
We want to see every woman, every child, and everybody access clean water. We would love to see a situation where there's no long queues for water. There are no long distances that women have to cover to fetch water. We would love to also see a situation where the water that they fetch is clean.
Every Zambian must have a clean water point or water source.
We need every child, every woman, regardless of where they are in this country, to have access to clean and safe water.
Looking at Zambia's future in terms of sustainable water for families, there is a bright future. I know the government and cooperating partners are working together to make sure that each household has clean water. And because of the huge water resources in Zambia, we know we can harness these resources to make sure that everyone has clean water to sustain their well-being. And indeed, water is life.
Development is freedom. And to me, that freedom starts with the clean drinking water.